Candid with Joe and Tim.
I know we faked them out with the season finale, Joe, but it's not like you have to scare them off their naps or something. Like when you're afraid
waking them up.
They left their podcast player playing after the season finale, and then they dozed off to it, and now you got to wake them up with another episode.
Got to get those old fuckers up.
Wow. Do you need to shower after that? Are you sweating?
No. That was built up energy. We've been debating. Our true audience knows that we aren't allowed to talk about anything political on the show. But off the show, it's basically all we talk about. and we have very heated political debates between the two of us. And Tim was worried that I was too angsty for the show.
Right, I guess you just let it all out in that.
I just had one giant explosion at the beginning. It was let it all out.
I mean, it's good. I'm glad we came back after the season finale. I do feel though, when I was setting up my podcast studios, I like to call it my triangle of shame, as I like to call it. It's a lot of people who followed this season know that we've been podcasting separately, and that so in my office I surround myself with some soundproofing that Joe left when we used to podcast together. So it's a triangle. So I literally just sit staring at the computer screen in a corner, surrounded by 3 soundproofing boards. So it's my triangle of shame because my entire family is out doing whatever they do, things. Whatever normal people do, and I'm on the internet talking about a woman who created deepfake porn to try and kick the girls off the cheerleading team who competing with her her daughter. So that's what I do in my triangle of shame.
I read the headlines of this. I didn't dive any deeper. So from what I gathered from the couple of headlines that I had seen, does this have to do with the fact that she deepfaked them with some kind of nudity related things? From what I understood was that she was trying to shame the girls, but I don't understand it. I don't understand the angle. I don't get it.
Well, I'm assuming that this is in Pennsylvania, so I'm assuming Hilltop Township. So I'm assuming that we'll be doing the next season of our podcast. Mm-hmm. Joe will be remote from Hilltop Township because I think he wants to be on the jury so he can see this video, because it's seeing is believing, and you have to introduce the video.
Is it going to adjourn court? Okay.
I'm sure she's going to plead guilty, but if she doesn't, it goes to jury. Then. Yeah, so this lady, she did deep fake photos and videos.
Oh, and videos. I didn't know about the videos.
Of her teenage daughter's cheerleading rivals, depicting them naked, drinking, and smoking. And she sent them to all the coaches in a bid to get them kicked off the team. So this is your deep fake minute.
I don't know. I don't know my reaction to this.
Well, you obviously want to see.
I'm slightly aroused.
I'm part of you, but then you realize it's
confused.
Not really them.
Yeah.
So part of you is aroused because they're naked, drinking, smoking teenagers.
Yeah.
But then on the other hand, it's deep fake, so they're not actually
not real.
The people.
And on the other hand, it's I don't know. I don't know how to respond to this. My penis is confused. penis. We lost Mike.
Well, I think you can. It sounds to me like you can remain impartial. So I think if you move to Pennsylvania I'm
gonna hang out
to Hilltown Township, Pennsylvania.
It sounds like
it's in
area.
Bucks County. It's in Bucks County, so you can move to Bucks County.
Okay. I know Bucks County quite well.
Yeah, get on the jury because you're clearly you don't know if you're going to convict or come, and you can.
I might be at the same time.
You can view the videos and you can prove yourself. Judge. Is this a crime?
Yeah,
is this a crime?
I don't know if it's a crime, but yeah, that's an I don't know. I don't know what my abilities would be. On I think I would just have an impartial response to this. I don't know. I'm without words.
You're too horned up right now. It's very confusing because usually when you have cheerleader naked drinking stories, it's like you very clearly know where you're going with it. But this one, it's like, they're not really the cheerleaders, but somebody is naked. It's just not the people who claim to be naked.
Yeah, it's like when you thought it was a hot girl, but then you find out it's a guy from behind, and it's just like, no, I don't know how I feel about this.
Spoiled again.
We're not going to get into that bit. So,
it never.
I don't have a segue, but we've talked extensively throughout the years about our weirdness. I'm weird, you're weird. We're both weird in very different ways, and in some ways
on
together.
Different levels too.
Yes, combined, we both have, I think, we're on spectrums of some sort, I believe, if you want to get technical about it. And I found another interesting part of Tim's spectrum that I was blown away by. Apparently, you have this
superhero-like
ability.
Yes.
To know where a gas station is.
I'm a true detective, but
I gotta set this up. I have to set this up. Okay, I am driving to work to an undisclosed destination. I am texting Tim on the way. And we were talking about how we're going to advertise.
Is this another true crime minute?
No.
Are you texting and driving?
No, I was verbally texting. That's why everything was spelled correctly. No.
Okay.
No, so
this was a true crime thing. I know you like to admit your crimes on this podcast.
Text. So I'm on the road and we're doing our normal banter back and forth about things, and I happen to, so I have to set it up with simply this. We were talking about where we need to advertise the show. And I was talking about truck stops and gas stations because that's actually a really good thing because people are on the road. And when people are on the road, they tend to listen to podcasts and radio shows like ours. So with that setup, I was passing by a gas station and I literally took like the worst photo of a gas station. Like half of the photo was my dashboard. The next like third of the photo was like my dirty windshield that wasn't cleaned, and then like the last little like piece of the photo was like a slanted angled shot of a gas station that was like cut off halfway. I sent that to Tim.
A highway rest stop gas station.
Yes. And I immediately, without a delay, got a response back. Is that on 87? which was the road that I didn't even know I was on. He asked it right away, and I actually had to look at my GPS to see what I was on, and sure enough, I was on 87.
Of course you were. That was that was the first rest stop after you passed Stu Leonard's.
I have no idea how you saw in that photo anything that was not generic. Like I've seen places that look like that across the country, but apparently you nailed it from that one thing.
Yeah, so, I don't know what it is because, before everyone always said I was a human map quest, and you might remember that from high school before we had cell phones. Remember that?
Yes, very long time ago.
Yeah. So I think it's like it's a recall of visual, and it's I'm trying to think I went back to Turkey. There's places in foreign countries that I've been to twice that I'm able to navigate because I had been there 7 or 10 or, I know my entire way around Florida, Maine. There's just certain places I've been to more than once.
Let me preface this also. For those of you astute people out there who might have thought, but Joe, he was able to check that your GPS thing. I have no GPS tracking on my photos. So there's no way that he could have seen by downloading the photo, seeing the GPS metadata. My GPS metadata is off. I'm smarter than that.
So when we post the show, I'll post to Twitter and then Joe will post to Instagram the picture and has
your phone vibrated? I think your phone has vibrated too.
I have a picture.
This is a pop quiz. A live pop quiz.
Are you sending me a new one?
I sent you another one.
It's the same one.
No, it is not. I've stumped him.
Wait, hold on. It's still on 87 though. I gotta compare. This isn't fun for the audience.
Yeah, I know it's not. I'm just putting it out there.
You're not stumping me because you're still on 87. But I have to compare it to the other picture.
Yeah. Well, anyway,
the point is, I didn't.
You're just
it's a visual.
It's a visual.
Like. Yeah, like you never forget a face. Like I never forget like a highway or a street or something. And
you never forget a gas stop
for places.
But you know what I thought it was?
I can do recall like when there's a news story. Actually, it's really fun when you watch like movies. A lot of movies and TV shows are filmed in like New York and Long Island.
Yeah, and I do that all the time.
And I literally pause it and I go, "Holy shit!" I tell my wife, I'm like, "This is." This is Oyster Bay, or this is
a lot of people in Queens
do
that. A lot of filming happens in Queens, New York, and tons of people from Queens are like, "That's my neighborhood bodega. That's my corner, whatever." Yeah, so that happens a lot. But what I thought it was,
Joe, did send me the picture.
Oh, he did. Oh, damn it! I fucked up then. I didn't see.
Yeah, you sent me the same picture.
I must have. All right. Well.
Yeah. So Joe just tried to live quiz me on the thing.
There is another one I took,
and then it turned out he sent me the same picture twice.
And you got it right twice.
Identified as the same picture twice, and then he tried to tell me that I was wrong. I went back and scrolled through our text messages and confirmed that he did in fact send me the same picture twice.
I have that twice
because you don't have the same superpower that I do, and to you think that's a different rest stop, but to me, a superhero who has this power of insight and deduction.
All right. Well, you'll be quizzed further.
It's impossible.
This is my new game show. This is my new game show for Tim and I. Where is this rest stop?
It has to be a place I've been to though. So you wouldn't like if you sent me a picture.
Because here's the thing. I thought it was because this is another thing that I don't think we've talked much about on the show. It's a new insight to you, even though it's the end of the series and whatever else our lives. Is that you have a very small bladder. And
that's why I know the rest.
I was assuming all of these places because these are on roads, major roads that you have to stop every 15 minutes. At least you don't
assume that I'm going there for anonymous sex.
No, not anonymous. So
these aren't
hooker stops.
I appreciate you thinking that I'm going to these rest stops.
These are tiny bladder stops
for the old-fashioned way.
I remember we went to John the Baby Maker's a bachelor party, and I remember thinking that the drive was semi long for Tim, and that I was wondering how many stops we would take before we would get there. So yeah, it's like one of those things. I think you predetermine, based on bladder size, what you're like. You know what you're like? You're like an electric vehicle. You have to pre-plan where your stops are.
We're gonna our next car is gonna be an electric vehicle. On one hand, it's like super
it's perfect
annoying
for you though
because of correct. It's super annoying because of all the pre-planning. But the other hand, it's like the perfect vehicle for me.
It is like if a vehicle was made with Tim-isms, it would be the electric vehicle.
Yes. Yeah. No, I remember. I think I told the story on the podcast that one of our mutual friends. I was in 11th grade. She was in 10th grade. It was the summer between, and we were dating. And we went to the Mets game, and I told her, tell her parents we'd be home at 6:50, and I pulled up in front of her house at 6:50.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
So it's all the same superhero. I think the same thing that makes me be able to identify any place in the tri-state area by a single frame is also the same thing that gets me creepily on time to places.
Well,
so it's a superpower. It's a superpower.
It's speaking of super, it's forced segue. Superpowers, you can equate those to otherworldly or real, scientific.
You're really working on this one, Joe.
Fuck yeah, I am.
Oh my god.
So CERN, the place where they have the Large Hadron Collider.
Okay, did they create a black hole?
No, they always create black holes. Don't you know this? Every time they collide matter, there are actual infinitesimally small black holes always being created when matter is hitting in the Large Hadron. I can't speak. I'm so excited. Anyway, the point is, at CERN, they've announced that they have a problem. About 96% of their emails are spam. Their spam is like, this is what I'm thinking.
Wait, they're doing cutting edge physics that they can create black holes in experiments, but they don't have a spam filter on their email.
They published this thing about how they have to come up with new ways to battle spam, which I think these guys are the right people to do it. If anybody's going to solve it, it's the guys at CERN. However,
well, maybe not. I mean, they've had pretty good spam filters for a long time now. So maybe
96% of their emails that come in is spam, and I'm thinking two angles of it, but the angle I wanted to bring on the show was, I know why. Because some geek in that group of guys who haven't gotten laid and haven't seen a vagina and whatnot is signing up with porn with their CERN emails. And all that spam is going to CERN because, the horny geeks are using their CERN emails and they're getting tons of spam.
See, I'm wondering if CERN is like Ukrainian for porn or something.
And it's just getting mixed
that
up.
It's like I have a totally different angle on it. Yeah, like CERN.org is like they're thinking it's some kind of like an orgy of little people or something, but it's in Mongolian. Yeah. So like they're looking for like a little person orgy in Mongolian, and then they type in like CERN.org and
that's what it is.
Yeah. And then like they get the science and then they just spam them for some reason.
Well, apparently somebody thought of the same thing that I did. CERN.ch, as in China, is not the real CERN, and someone bought that
What's the real CERN.org?
.com and .org, I believe. And so, yeah, the CERN.ch, someone purchased it and created a bunch of fake stuff too. So yeah, some people are actively trying to destroy CERN's email. And yeah, it seems to be something that it's a widespread problem with CERN.
It makes sense. I mean, if you're sitting there just watching like molecules collide all day, and like I'm sure it takes a while to get like all the magnets.
They must have
running.
Lots of Pornhub going on during like these long experiments.
Yeah, it's just surprising it's not like a closed network. Like I always think that when you hear like, the power grid is like going to be hacked, it's like, well, like maybe just don't have it online. Like, do you really need to be watching YouTube while you're managing the power grid? Like, it seems like maybe you should just have like a private network, like not open to other computers. And I would think CERN is one of those places where like maybe they should just have internal emails.
Well, okay, so CERN.ch, which is their actual real thing, they have posted like entire things. These are public things that you could look up, like the reporting of spam and all this stuff. So apparently this has been a huge issue since 2013. Or wait, no, not 2013. Whenever they opened up, which is I can't find the age here, but yeah, it's been since they started. People have been spamming them, and I think it's because some guys are just jerking off a lot. I think they're jerking off at work they're like, oh, what's my email? Oh yeah, it's Joe at CERN.cn or whatever the hell it is. and they're getting sperm, porn, spam.
Now with the large Hadron collider.
Yeah.
Would that be able to see the future, or is that just something I can do?
Oh boy, and it's hadron. we both are like butchering it.
I don't
We're
care
like
what it is,
halon,
just
hadron.
as ISIS Q.
Oh no, I don't want music.
Victorious music.
The victorious.
Because just as I predicted, they played WAP on the Grammys. They actually played me and Joe in a famous episode that we brought the WAP. For those who listen to our show, probably don't listen to hip hop. And we brought the timeless lyrics of WAP. And we did a whole joke about what it would sound like on the Grammys. And it actually led to us inventing our most popular characters, the Test Pattern guys.
Yes, which is actually
one of my favorites. We laughed hysterically because the entire song is just all about vagina. The entire thing is everything's just wet vagina,
wet ass,
like metaphors and similes, and thinking about big dicks and wet vaginas. And it was like, how could you ever have this on television?
Yeah.
Well, they did, and somehow it was, and they were in little thongs on a giant bed, and then they had like a giant screen behind them, just spitting like wop 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 the entire time. And yeah, it was they figured out how to edit it. Like it was the rappers.
So the test pattern guys came back, because I said the test pattern guys were rolling in their graves, and Tim's response was no.
Pointed out that they're alive.
Yeah, no,
people
they're
forgot
alive.
about them. The people forgot about them.
They're just covered in dust, like at the at
everyone
the end
went
of
home for COVID, and they forgot to tell the test pattern guys, and they're just living there like the guys who
the Indiana Jones at the end of Indiana Jones,
Grail,
the guy who's sitting
watches
there,
the Holy Grail. Yeah,
the old guy with the sword.
Yeah, they have a suicide pact though. There's two of them, so there's either two test pattern guys or none.
Yeah. There's two test pattern guys, one old wooden crate with like a musket.
Yeah, it's a murder-suicide pact, actually, what happened.
But wait, if it can't be a musket, because one shot, it would take like forever to reload.
They have to line up right next to each other. But yeah, so the girls were the artists. The artists were not rapping live. So the track had been pre-edited to take out all like the really, really dirty things, or like the things to give.
You mean the entire song?
Well, so if you take away certain words, there's no context to it. So like, I want you to like park that giant truck right in this little garage. Like that's not actually dirty if you don't have the context of the truck.
Do I have grounds for copyright infringement?
We talked about this. We played the song. We did this whole bit.
No. I don't remember talking about how
stick it in, take it out.
Yes, but what you're saying is when they removed everything, now they're just talking about cars and backing it up and all that stuff. And I wrote a song like that. It's called "Stick It In, Take It Out." Rim
I
job.
have it on DVR, Joe. I can send it to you after the show. And
thank you.
You can go over with your legal team.
Gouge my eyes.
You can if you're not too tired from masturbating to the deepfake cheerleader porn. I'll be more than happy to send you the WAP performance on the Grammys, and you can go over with a fine-tooth comb to see you have a.
I was thinking of your WAP song.
Okay. Nice.
And I was driving again to work, as one does, and
indiscreetly, she didn't send me your.
And a song came on that was another like female rap song. It was on Pandora Radio, which we were on. Follow us, Be Offended Radio. And on Pandora Radio, this thing popped up, and I never heard it before. But what's the song? We're Friends? Best Friends, yeah.
By Doja Cat and Saweetie.
Yes, and I just start laughing hysterical.
The first time I heard that song, I was circling CVS parking lot because my wife had gone in to pick something up and the baby was napping in the back of the car. So I was circling listening to Best Friend by Doja Cat and Saweetie. And I'm glad you like it. I think it's a first
because that's the first like female rap song that I was just it's clearly a joke, unlike the WAP song, which I don't think is. This song is clearly a joke, and I enjoyed the joke, and that's why I
disagree on the WAP, but I'm happy that you were able to, because I thought the same thing when I heard this song. I thought of how funny it was, and it's actually like very catchy and very well done.
It's catchy and it's just hilarious to listen to because
so I'm glad to see. Well, you're just disgusted by the idea of wet pussy, so I think that's really you just couldn't get past that. You know, like you're just like, why would it be wet? I've never seen one in my life.
I don't know what this is.
I'm not familiar with it. You know, like what would I do with all this lube? You know,
deny.
Everyone thinks Joe has home eating oil, but it's actually just like the lube truck backing up every time he's got a new girlfriend. Segue.
Joe's
able to convert. He converted his old oil tank into a lube tank.
Segue. We have a major topic here that we're skirting around. We should just go to it. It's okay. So if you go to beoffendedradio.com, okay, we have a store link, and you go to the store, and we have some items for sale that are not really for sale.
Don't tell them that
they're out of stock. Yeah, they're out of stock. Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
they're not really for sale
between not for sale and out of stock.
Yeah. But the key thing is they are out of stock. We do not have any in stock, and one of them is our spit lube. And this,
I believe it's the Tim version of
yes,
Spit
it's
Lube.
a Tim. I have not come out with my own brand. This is all of Tim's savings. And it came from us talking about the vagina candle. This is such a long, like, you really have to be a true fan of the show to understand some of these circles.
Well, this is good. This is the post-season finale special. This is a good opportunity between this show and whatever the next iteration of me and Joe's stupidity is. Yeah. You can go back and listen to the old episodes and find out why we're selling Spit Lube Tim flavor for $32.99 on the or actually, Joe, I hate to tell you, but it's no longer out of stock.
Wait,
it's
what?
now available in 16 ounces or it won't fit. And you can get a custom name engraving.
Did the out of stock go away?
The out of stock went away. You can now add to cart, and it's marked down from $38.99 to $32.99.
It's on sale. Okay, well, try to buy it. It's not going to happen. But
I better get to spitting.
Yeah, you better get going. So you better get that one that top chip off the bag, that crisp chip, and just hang it and dangle it in front of you to start drooling. So you can get your
my first Frito.
Yeah, you get your first top Frito going.
Wow, the It Won't Fit is selling for $87.99.
Yes, because it's a gallon. I'm giving you some extra cash here.
They charged me $4 for shipping. It's my own spit.
Why are you
what kind
buying
of spam
it?
is this? Do we have a promo code?
No, we don't have a promo code would insinuate that there's still sales. There's not supposed to be any sales happening. So Tim and I have been coming up with ideas for another show, and I'm not going to bring up what it is or anything, but in our banter back and forth off the air, we've just been like noticing all these things. And what did we come across? We came across a product that was marked down from like $18,000. Yeah, it was like marked down from $18,000, and it was selling
phone.
Oh yes, okay, so that's it. Because I put it on my show list.
Joe's got a bone to pick apparently. So this company, which was on Shark Tank, I can only assume they were laughed off of Shark Tank because Shark Tank just puts terrible ideas on there. And they sell a thing called the No Phone, and it's just a brick of plastic in the shape of an iPhone that people, I guess, who are recovering from phone addiction or something can wear, and like, so it's like, you can hold it and you can take it and you can like feel that comfort of having a phone, but you don't actually have a phone. And then for $6, they'll send you a bag of air in the shape of a phone, which is the No Phone Air. Yeah. And I'm really angry.
Yeah,
like really angry.
These people are actually making money. They're actually selling these.
Unlike my Spit Lube.
Yes, unlike the
You're breaking the fourth wall and admitting that there no Spit Lube will ever be sold.
You're not in a corner spitting, and you don't have your own little spittoon with a funnel going down to a jar.
Fill up a gallon.
Yeah. Well, so I came across this. I have no idea. I'm sure it's in my... I have a segue that I won't use now, but we'll get to it later. There's a reason why I got to this bottom level of internet. And yeah, it was this thing, and I'm just thinking, wait a second. They already make and sell dummy phones. Like, there are actual sites you can buy dummy phones off of that look exactly like an iPhone, whatever, but they don't turn on. Most companies buy them for display use or for cases or for just any kind of phone accessory.
Well, you can also give it to your baby, because there's nothing a fucking baby likes more than a phone.
Yeah, then to destroy and slobber on your phone.
But somehow they know. So you give like a baby a remote control.
Okay, here we go. Tim Father Minute.
No, I just have to say this because you give a baby a remote control, but it's not the remote control that like actually controls the television.
Yeah.
And they put it down and then want the real one. And how do they know, Joe? How do they know it's a dummy remote control?
The babies are out for us.
How do they know?
This is the Tim Conspiracy Minute. The babies are out to get us.
Dude, it's the weirdest, like it's, God forbid the curse of parenthood ever befalls upon you,
no,
Joe.
Thank you.
But
no,
the most amazing thing is when a
Lord
little
Joey.
baby calls out something like, you hide something, and then the baby just goes where you hid it and takes it, or you give them a dummy remote and they put it down, take the real remote. And then like 4 seconds later, they're like screaming and crying over like the dumbest thing. And you're just like, how are you so smart to know that's a fake remote, but so stupid to be crying over this thing right now? It's torture, Joe. It's absolute torture.
And that is the reason why I'm not having kids. Anyway, so they make these dummy phones already. So I'm thinking, like, what is the mind space of the person buying this? Like, what is it? Now they have a selfie version, and the selfie version
of
is
the
literally
no phone or of the
no phone. There's a no phone selfie edition, which just has a mirror on it. It's just a fucking mirror. And they're selling these things, and they're selling on Amazon, and there's a lot of them that have sold. And I'm very angry that we are not millionaires.
We don't.
I am extremely angry that we are not.
You're mad
selling
that we didn't invent nothing and then sell it.
Yes,
even the spit lube is a product, because people do sometimes often I would even say use spit as a lube. They're even selling spit lube, like, and we could say, like, I mean, I drink a lot. I'm having a cider right now, so you can argue that apples are somehow a natural lubricant, and I'm spitting. Like, I'm sure we could like figure out a way to sell spit lube, and someone be like, you know what, that sounds like a product that
organic,
has value to it, and use
all
like,
natural,
even,
organic.
Yeah, all natural organic spit lube from a genuine guy who's had sex before, and you can be like, wow, okay, you know what, this is
pre-screened for COVID.
But a brick of plastic which doesn't have any
value. The buttons don't even click. The buttons are hard.
It's worse than selling spit lube, is what I'm saying.
Which brings us to, we should sell something stupid like an empty jar of spit lube. Because if they're selling we should just sell the jar that has the label on it that says spit lube, right? And then people can fill it up with whatever they want as a joke. You get where I'm going? Like, this is an actual $1 million fucking idea. We should make the bottles, have it Be Offended Radio brand spit lube. It's an empty bottle, and you can fill it whatever you want. You can fill it with hand sanitizer. You could fill it with fucking, actual lube. But it'd be hilarious to put on your desk and someone squirt out the spit lube. I think that's something we could sell.
I think the no phone is like for phone addiction. So I think the fake product should be some kind of like fake laptop or some kind of thing for like a porn addiction.
Ooh, a censor button.
Like some kind of, like it has to,
the censor guy has to be stupid,
button. But you'd have to, like
it has to satisfy some kind, it has to like turn off the news or turn off the internet. Like, it's just got to be like a device that unplugs your laptop. What if we take a bunch of tissues and then we put like a bunch of glue in it, right? And we like crumple it up, right? Yeah. And then we sell it, and they're like fake cum tissue. So for people who have like masturbation addiction, like just spread that around everywhere.
Yeah, like so they don't actually have to jerk off into the tissue.
Because that's the end result.
But they still have the end result. Then they can go about their day. Yeah, the same way that the no phone people. Yeah, so you still get like that like thing of like throwing out the dirty tissue afterwards,
cleaning up after the mess.
You don't actually do it. Yeah, I think that's the product. I think we sell fake cum tissues to kids who have masturbation addiction.
Kids, people. I don't like using the word kids with that.
Well, kids being people younger than us.
Okay, kids these days.
Kids is anyone. By the way, for the record, kids is anyone younger than I am.
Anyone younger than
by like a day. Actually, you're younger than me, so technically you're a kid. I'm actually thinking of selling this to you. You were my inspiration for this product.
Floundering.
Now you, the vice president, you are also a member.
I'm part of this cult, whether I want to or not. Anyway,
I think that's my idea. Oh, we're not. I thought we were just going to do one.
We're gonna
thing,
no, I don't think our audience can handle that. I think for future sponsors coming up, we have to. We're obligated.
Okay, we're legally obligated to take this break, but for the record, I'm against it.
Okay, well, we'll be back after this legally obligated break.
Looking for more talk radio? You can listen to all of Season 2 of The Inappropriate Guys right now on BeOffendedRadio.com.
And we're back.
We are back. We surprised everyone by coming back after the season finale.
I don't think we actually explained that well. It's like there was a season finale. Yeah, that's April Fool's that we didn't actually end. So technically, this is the end.
Yeah. Well, we have OCD, and we were at an uneven number of episodes.
It's true. We both had a discussion that we looked at it. We're like, oh, we're 29 this season instead of 30.
No, we needed to get to 30. You don't have 29 episodes of anything. No, you have 20 episodes. Like, what did they get? Did they get killed in a car accident?
Yeah.
What happened? Why was there no episode 30?
This is the Twin Peaks David Lindelof ending of podcasts.
Yeah, no, you couldn't. Which, by the way, so there's a new show, and just briefly, and I'm not watching. So on NBC, it's like Debris. And I'm still mad that they canceled Revolution all those years ago, that I refused to start any new drama on NBC.
I have the same grudge.
Yeah, because me and Joe don't have much in common besides our love of James Bond and Mission Impossible. But we both really were into Revolution. Part of the reason is because, as we discussed on the show, if there's a post-apocalyptic America, me and Joe are going to be
we're going to be the two factions.
Cult leaders, which is actually the whole thing of Revolution, whereas like the two warring cult leaders, we used to be best friends in the army together. So we loved this show, and they had a whole mythology and this mystery, and then they canceled the show after like a season and a half, and then that was it. You just never found out what happened, and I never forgave them, and now I refuse to watch
I don't trust
any drama
shows
on NBC because I'm concerned, rightfully so, that they're going to cancel it, way too early, and then you'll never know what happened.
Yep. So that old gag.
If anyone's watching Debris, and if it's any good, you can email me or Twitter me. You can DM me at what's my
angry hate? No, not angry hate mail.
No, we're Be Offended Radio on Twitter. So you can Twitter me at Be Offended Radio on Twitter. You can also send an email to angryhatemail@gmail.com if you are watching Debris. And really go fuck yourselves, because I'm not going to watch it till the whole season ends.
We know it is. We know it's ended, wrapped up.
Ended, wrapped up. Yeah.
And David Lindelof is not one of the writers.
Yeah, there's no way that I'm watching.
It ends all in a dream.
Yeah, these television dramas anymore. Yeah.
No, fuck that. So I forgot my topic. No, I have it. So in the first half of this episode, we talked about something that you have predicted.
Ooh, the WAP on the Grammys.
And now we have to circle to what I've predicted.
Ooh.
Armie Hammer, baby. This motherfucker. So Allegedly,
it's alleged.
He is.
We don't know if it's true or not. But
the fucker, I told you he was a violent motherfucker. I was saying that we're gonna find out in the future that he's tied to some fucked up shit, and possible. It
seems like the accusations are coming.
Yes. So let's just call it even. I won one, you won one, and I coined this that we are the Simpsons of podcasting. This will be a show.
We do. Okay. Yeah. I'll go with that.
This is going to be a show that in history we look back on, just like the Trump with the escalator and him waving for the presidency and all that stuff, like all that stuff in the Simpsons that happened. If you don't know, the Simpsons has predicted a lot of things, oddly so, that have happened in the future.
The Simpsons, well, I mean, they've been around for 30 years.
Yeah, so they've done a lot
of random jokes that turned out to actually come come true.
You're ruining the bit. You're making it sound like statistics is making it possible.
I'm sorry.
We have not done that much. We have only done, what was it, 4,000?
No, we see the future, but the Simpsons is just statistics.
Yeah, they're statistics. Yeah. They're the 52 deck, we're 1 in 52 chance. But you only really have 1 in 52 chance with us, which is I don't know what the fuck I'm saying at this point.
Well, you're just so excited that Armie Hammer apparently is a sex pervert,
sex rapist, fiend,
you're so excited,
almost murderer. Yeah, I predicted, and I still predict that there's going to be bones found. I'm telling you, like he's murdered somebody. I know it. I feel it.
Okay. I can't doubt you at this point. Yeah. You've already the accusations of actual acts are starting to come out.
It's already there. I said he was violent because when we went on that little tangent on him, I was like, no. I know what this is. I was on FetLife for a long enough time to know what this shit is.
That's why I asked you when I raised the story. I said you were a resident pervert, so I needed to get your expertise.
I knew where that was coming from.
So it's interesting. So in this day and age, is there a difference between thoughts and actions? Like, is there truly,
if it's offensive, no, and if it's not offensive, yes. Apparently that's how the world works.
There was a strong argument can be made
Mandela effect
during the 90s, or during like when they try to blame violent video games, and they're like, no, it's
this old gag,
but it was exactly this old gag because it turned out there was no correlation.
Yeah, there was zero
between the violent video games.
We grew up with Bugs Bunny, which was more violent than anything, and there was no.
So the question now is there, if they do this study again and they do it with pornography habits, is there a difference between fantasy and reality? If you're
it's maybe too serious of a topic for the show, Tim.
No, it's very fun because it could be cuckolding.
It's very fun.
It could be cuckolding.
I'm worried about the mother-in-law
Black
stuff.
on Blonde. It could be apparently the amount of stepmothers who are having sons. It must be an epidemic.
Yes,
of stepmothers having sex with their stepsons.
That's what I'm concerned about. I don't know where this came from because I don't have this fetish.
See, this is Joe.
Okay. So I'm proving your
saying
point.
This isn't fun. But then that's exactly the point. So if Armie Hammer is doing these sex fantasies, quote unquote, and now the allegations coming out that he actually is doing things that are really fucked up.
I think it's a chicken and egg situation.
Are there people who are jerking off to stepmother, stepson porn who are now going to be doing creepy things to their stepmothers? Well, do we need to worry about the stepmothers of America from their horned up porn hub?
I like the title of Stepmothers of America being the
I think it's actually a porn website. Actually, I'm thinking the Stepmothers of America.
If not, we're buying that fucking shit.
I'm pretty sure that's a channel on Pornhub.
so stepmothersofamerica.org.
Is there just a pandemic of stepbrother and stepsister, walking in on showers, and then you just happen to just
I guess if you're in the shower, I'm going to shower too. I don't understand.
This is just men, women, stepsisters masturbating with the door open across the country with their stepbrothers creeping down the hallway to watch them.
Here's the thing. I could realistically understand I guess it's an age thing because I don't like older people. So I guess for me, it just doesn't compute with the whole stepmother thing.
But you talked about stepsister.
Yeah, and the way I could justify
I won't need those pre-cum tissues and Tim and Joe are selling.
The way I could justify it is simply in my brain, if someone my age I'm attracted to, and
moved in, and
they moved in. That's the step sister.
The fantasy
brother
is fine.
thing.
The fantasy
but
is
the
mother
thing.
The fantasy is you're a senior in high school. And you have some crush on some girl, and then you find out that her mom is marrying your dad because both your parents are divorced.
It's the Stacy's mom thing. Who died? Play the sad music.
Or even the Brady Bunch. Remember they did a whole thing on the Brady Bunch where Greg wasn't Greg creepy for Marsha?
I don't remember the
Brady Bunch movie.
Barely remember that.
It might have been the Brady Bunch movie, but either way, there was a creepiness to Greg and Marsha because they weren't related. So the stepbrother to stepsister, I think it's a tale as old as time. But the question becomes,
it led into
this day and age, are stepbrothers, drilling holes in the wall to look at their stepsisters.
And that's the thing. I think that stuff has always been happening.
Oh.
And it's just that it's now become like, oh, there's a place for this now on Pornhub. Let me explore. I'm looking at it as fetishes have always existed. All of these fucked up things have always existed. If you go back to fucking Roman times, holy fucking shit has been fucking everybody. Mothers and fathers fucking everybody. The whole family was involved. And there's murals and
hide your wives, hide your daughters.
Yeah, hide everybody. Hide your aunt.
We're all gonna get laid.
Yeah, and that is just history of time and like fact. This isn't like a made up thing. So I think it's always been around, and it just became so taboo that it was hidden, and now it's still taboo but somehow accepted, and there's a space for them to all gather. So I think that it's always been around, but now with the internet and like-minded people joining from across the world, now they have a place to enjoy that, whatever they want to enjoy. So that's where I feel it is. I don't have a real funny angle on it other than that. Like, that's all I got.
I mean, sometimes you get the conclusion isn't funny as long as the journey there is funny. Yeah. No, I think that there's a very small line between the internet, like, perverseness and the things people will actually try and do. Like, especially people who haven't been sexually, like, who haven't had sex before, like people who are learning about sex from Pornhub. Like, I think there's a lot of like unlubed penises going into like butts, and I think a lot of people are like trying to like come in eyes or something. Like, I think that there's
editing is important. There needs to be context. You know what? You bring up a good point. I'm going to go on this tangent.
Well, here's what I was saying, to make my point before you go off on it. To make it is basically like, if you had sex and did things with girls and then had porn, you can see what sex is like in real life and what porn sex is like. But if you went to porn sex before you ever actually had a girl, you would think that's what sex is like. And that's maybe what the Armie Hammer thing is, like, and maybe what all these...
This is what I need. Well, okay, so... Again, it's kind of a chicken and egg situation where one can come before the other, and you can't really figure it out.
Because sometimes you come and not at all. Baby.
Yeah, sometimes you come. It's Austin Powers. Yes. Oh my God, are we dating ourselves? So there's a point in which you have to look at something and in context. And if porn is chopped up, like, for instance, I can use Armie Hammer still in the topic, in that
allegedly
there are like things there are things on Pornhub or wherever. I'm not promoting porn. You know what? Fuck Pornhub. They took us off.
X-Hamster.
X-Hamster. There are things on all these other great websites out there other than Pornhub that are like dungeon sex and all, you know, like whatever stupid fantasies. There's a lot of feet stuff out there which I don't understand at all. But there's like these dungeon things and the whips and chains, again, stuff I don't really get. But I've perused through the many years of being bored and horny into these rooms of you know, fetishes,
misdeeds,
misdeeds, and just the louse that I am. And so some of these videos, right? There's like girls being violently, supposedly violently abused and used sexually. But there's the beginning and end of the videos. Like there's a very famous one. I forget what they're actually called, but it's like this dungeon thing, and they show like this castle at the beginning of the video and at the end of the video. You'll know what I'm talking about if you've ever seen it on porn. It's like this castle that
email
they show.
Us at angryemail@gmail.com.
You know the castle.
If you know what dungeon porn,
and it's like a really big company, you know, it's a very large company, and so that's like their brand. But at the beginning and at the end of the videos, it's the girl sitting down in an interview, and in the beginning the girl says what her fetishes are and what she's always wanted. She's always wanted a guy to treat her like shit. She's been sexually aroused by the idea of getting choked and beat and all these things. And then the video starts with the sexual stuff, and then then at the end, they actually interview the girl afterwards and they ask her how she liked it. How did it differ from like, it's almost documentary style. It's actually quite fascinating.
They're trying to make sure they're not sued.
Yeah, exactly.
Arrested.
But with that in mind, you could also tell that the people who do these porn shoots are the same girls and guys who pretty much only do these porn shoots. So you can tell it's their type of thing. Like some girls just love doing blowjobs, so that's all they do.
They could... But when they re-uploaded that to a different site, they could have just
cut out, and that's my point.
The interview.
That's my point.
That's what I mean. Then someone just thinks that like this is
and they're like, they just want to beat the shit out of her. That's okay. And they're removing the consent part of the video out. I could see young impressionable minds.
Exactly, people who don't actually know what sex is like, and then I think there's a very small.
Why is mommy beating daddy? Why is there a
fetishes are much like podcast, Joe?
Oh, where is this going?
Because once it's over, you feel really stupid that you did
it. You feel ashamed. You feel dirty.
You feel dirty.
You might need to take a shower.
You just wasted time.
You're never going to get this time back.
Yeah. You got to take down your triangle of shame.
You know, we've talked about this before, but I don't think we've ever actually talked about it. The after porn shame feeling, or the after porn, like,
well, that's why I'm selling my glue tissues.
Yeah, for guys.
So you can throw out your cum tissue without feeling so stupid for what he just did.
There is like, and we did kind of talk about this in the second season of The Inappropriate Guys, is where like immediately afterwards, you're like, what the fuck? Like you get into that like weird trance of sexual,
like a blackout or something, an out-of-body experience. Yeah.
And what's funny is they've shown for women that it's an actual thing. There's a study. I don't remember the university that did it, but it was a study where they had a girl in an MRI machine live having an orgasm, and them showing the different parts of the brains that were that was active and what was happening. And they actually showed that there was a level of comatose that happened close to and during the female orgasm.
I definitely believe that girls who are with you, their mind is somewhere else. If that's what you're trying to, I've often thought that. I've often thought that like they must be having some kind of out-of-body experience in their head. They're just like they're somewhere else as you're just like pounding away. So, well, I'm glad science has finally proven my hypothesis.
Yeah. So no, but it's an actual thing. But they didn't do it with guys, I don't think. I remember it being done with guys. So they should do it with guys too and like scan the brain and see what happens. Because I have a feeling there's a point of no return. I think there's a point of no return in horniness. I think you get to this certain moment where it is complete animalistic, like, I need to come. Like there's that moment where I don't care what the fuck I have to get done to do this, but I need to get it done. And
that makes a lot of sense considering like the weird sex stories you hear about.
Yes.
And like when some guy like comes on someone on a subway or something.
Yeah. And then you're like,
you just know they're like way beyond like anywhere anyone has ever normally been, where they're just like, you know what? Like, I don't care if it's the C-train. I gotta do this right now.
Yeah.
There's someone's jacket and I'm going to take this out.
Yep. Like, I'm going to come in this girl's pocket while she's waiting for the bus. Like it's that kind of stuff that
I agree. I think I think those people are on a different level, but I think everyone has that level. Yeah,
I think
which is why I say how funny the fetish thing is, because like you're just now in this like bunny outfit, you know, with like 7 people around you.
Yeah, that's what we did last time. We talked about furries and things where it's like, well, we're done and we're all sitting here in these weird fucking outfits.
Cuckolding too. Like if they're like people into cuckolding.
Yeah,
like, it must be really weird when now you're like, so like, do you want me to call you an Uber? Or like, I got some beer. Like, do you want a beer?
Do they like hang out and watch movies afterwards together?
Yeah,
like so. Do you go back to Scrabble?
I think DeGrom's pitching for the Mets tomorrow. You know, he might. Do you think he's going to win the Cy Young this year? Meanwhile, like the guy just fucked your wife. You know, and like tiny like.
Speaking of things, I came across this, which I have no idea. In the news articles that we were passing back and forth, one of them led to this TV show about sister wives. I have no idea what this is. Okay. This is one of those things that I don't have cable TV.
Yeah, sister wives,
I'm completely internet based.
They're the polygamous guys, and then there's one legal wife, and then they like have a fake ceremony where like they marry the other wife, so they're considered sister wives. Yeah, I
had no idea this show existed. And B, that this was like a popular thing. Like maybe it existed like in Sweden. You haven't tried your hand to
sister wives, Joe.
Some may say I have.
You have just the personality to just the cult leader sense of self-importance.
Just the cult leader
to think that you
central importance thinking.
I think you have just the level of mental illness to think that having sister wives would be good. I'm surprised you haven't had sister wives, Joe.
I haven't. I have either. So I came across that, and that was one of those things that blew my mind. Like this whole like stepmother thing, which again I don't get. No, because it's all encompassing. Because it's now become sort of normalized, and I guess the whole point of this is we're talking about things that are weird. That
you started with the Armie Hammer thing, and that's what I was saying. Is that like
somehow normalized?
Is there now a difference between the sex? Sex fantasy and porn and reality. And I think we've kind of proven over the last 15 minutes that the answer is no, that there really is no difference between, between the fantasy and the reality that
reach that point.
that you're going to make it a reality at a certain point. But then it goes back to my point, which is why it shouldn't be, because like, if you really invited someone over to cuckold, like, how weird is it when like you guys are just sharing a beer downstairs while your wife is wiping the cum off of herself?
So, and this is the thing I could speak to about fetishes with what I have experienced in my life is there's a level of trust that you have to have in these fetish communities and fetish lives. Like, a lot of it is actually based on trust. And believe it or not, a lot of fetish stuff, people cannot get off or get involved in it unless there is trust.
Otherwise you're like a kidnap victim.
Yeah, exactly. Either you're a rapist or a kidnapper or someone's mother. But there is some like very known restriction and fet lifers and people in the like realm of that sexual desire. Everybody knows what I'm talking about, is that there are always limits set and there's always like safety measures and words. So I have a feeling that you not being in that circle of sexual whatever, you don't actually understand that side of it. And that's why you're seeing it as, oh, it could be this or that. But I got to tell you, I would say a very healthy amount of people into these fetishes are actually handling them in a very safe manner, especially the more violent ones, the ones that girls want to get hit.
It's unsafe. I'm just saying you feel really dumb afterwards.
Either way, I think you feel like
dumb afterwards anyway.
Some kind of, oh boy, like it was an experience one way or another.
Nothing resets the brain. Like, I mean, I would think
nothing resets the brain like releasing cum.
Yeah, I would see like being punched in the face is probably a good reset, but like I think even coming is probably like a step above that as far as like. And
imagine being punched in the face and coming at the same time.
Wow, you might might actually cancel the reset and you would just continue through. It's like a glitch in the Matrix or something. Yeah.
Yeah, so I think this.
Right,
I think Armie Hammer
is good. I'm glad we were able to bring back this horrible special episode. No, it's a really good topic because like this is something that people aren't we're old enough that we were lucky enough to see our first real vagina and do things.
I didn't know where you were going with that, but I'm glad it was vagina. Okay, because we were just talking about
you were lucky enough to like be with a girl before like you watched someone having sex in a porn movie.
Yeah.
And like, I think that like helped you realize there's like sex in real life and there's porn sex, but like there's a whole generation and now probably 2 generations that come up behind us
where they've learned about it way before we have.
Porn for possibly a decade before they actually had their first sexual experience. And like, to me, it's like, that's where that Armie Hammer thing comes in.
But
where
Armie Hammer is our age.
Into,
so that's the problem.
But I'm saying, is he, the question was,
he's younger than us.
Is he a harbinger for the future where like, that there's no difference between dirty talk and action, where like I think with our generation there's like a really big difference between dirty talk and action, and like
dirty talk and action. It sounds like a good porn site.
It sounds like our new brand for next season
brand
of our podcast.
Dirty Talk and Action.
Dirty Talk and Action.
That's actually a great title for a podcast. Well, I had another topic that it's more for you. I live in a 4-year bubble of memory, and this is beyond my 4-year bubble of memory.
Okay, so do I have to
fill in all the blanks
for you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh God. So, hopefully it happened near a rest stop on 87 or we're fucked.
when your bladder was low.
Yeah.
So we're very good at this show, and we text each other a lot.
Thank you. Complimenting each other.
Some may say
that we're our biggest fans.
Yes. Some may say it's a circle jerk of compliments. And
some may say we don't actually post this show, and that this is actually just a big it's like it's Shutter Island. Some people may say that Be Offended Radio is actually just one long season of Shutter Island. Yes.
Which could be true. Like we could just be two nut jobs sitting in a room talking to ourselves. Which imagine if you or I didn't really exist, and one of us is just the other's evil twin, whatever, the little guy who sits on the left shoulder.
Okay,
anyway.
So then you don't exist then, because I'm definitely not your evil guy. That's definitely
no.
Not
I think you're horrible in my mind, because I don't want to be like you, and you don't want to be like me. But anyway, the point is. There's this circle of memory bubble that's gone way long ago, and we've been doing this show for a long time, and I'm just remembering all the times of how fucking funny we are. And I'm like, oh my God, we are actually genuinely funny people. And when I'm at work, I make everybody laugh. Like I get people to laugh at the drop of a hat. If I want them to laugh, I can make them laugh. And I know you have that ability as well. And we both know exactly the right time to make that joke. We always are very quick, very, very quick. And we've always had this quickness, and we were even quicker in our younger years, maybe.
Well, it's you lose a step.
Yeah.
I mean, LeBron on the Lakers isn't LeBron on the Cavs. I mean,
Yeah, speaking of, well, we're not getting into sports.
Nobody wanted to watch, no one wanted to watch Willie Mays on the Mets. Everyone's still saying he was on the Giants. Okay. I got you. It's fine.
Or Jordan playing golf.
Yeah.
So
we all pretend not to notice when Bon Jovi doesn't sing the chorus of "Living on a Prayer" anymore.
High note,
it's fine. He still had a great career.
Well,
he turns that mic out to the crowd every time.
I think we have one of the funniest moments in history of Joe and Tim, not just even in the show, but as the docked brothers that we are.
The Doc Duo.
The Doc Duo. Ooh, another title for the new show.
Okay. We're going to be the #1 podcast in Provincetown, and that beach me and Harrison hung out at.
And
Fire Island.
And probably somewhere in Washington State. So yes, and Colorado. Shout out to all you weirdos in Colorado. So I have to get to the point here, is that we did a comedy roast of our dear friend, John the Baby Maker. We put on a Comedy Central roast that,
yeah, so do you want me to take over?
Yeah, because I don't remember how it started.
So our friend John turned 21, John the Baby Maker. He's been on the show.
Oh my God, he was turning 21 at the time? So this is a very long...
He decided he wanted to do, for his 21st birthday, he wanted to have a roast. So to our credit, even at 21, we knew how to do like a presentation. So our friend Harrison, God rest his soul, one of our friend's parents who we used to drink at his house when we were underage, he decided to do it. And I think I forget if there was at least maybe I think there was 5 performers overall. So we
there was Fitz,
we set it up in
there was
order
Harry,
of who we knew was going to prepare and who would just go up and be drunk and yell stuff. So so they kind of warm up the crowd and they say something. You fat fuck.
And the heavy hitters were us at the end. That I remember.
So Joe was the co-headliner and I was the headliner at the end.
So, but let me set what I do know. But before you get into this, is that we didn't know each other's bits at all. This was separate.
Yeah,
we just knew that we had to roast John.
Even back then, we had integrity.
Yes, like there was. Even then, we were like, no, we are separating. No one's going to know each other's bits. There's no collaboration. No idea what someone was going to do, period. Okay, now continue.
So Joe came in. So the 3 idiots cut up and they do whatever the improv was.
Justin,
you like Harry. A beer. You like some chicken wings.
You're
and
fat.
They got a good laugh and high five. And then Joe gets up. He bought a giant oversized notepad, like this giant notepad and
it's
easel.
A flip thing on an easel.
and he did this whole bit with a flip pad and an easel. And what was your theme? I remember what my theme was. What was your theme?
I don't remember, and that's what I was going to ask you. But I know this: it got some of the biggest laughs I had ever gotten in my life.
Yes,
it was just like the first time I flipped the paper was like eruption of laughing. And I was just like, this is the best thing ever.
And then I got up and it was the unauthorized history of John the Baby Maker. And I had a PowerPoint presentation that I had on a DVD on the screen.
Which is hilarious.
Was in the style of the Colbert Report, where in the Colbert Report, he would have his monologue saying something.
And then the funny thing.
And then the funny thing would be behind him on the screen. So I wrote the unauthorized biography of John the Baby Maker, where I told John's 21 years of life as John had told them and had the screen
of the reality
tell them of actually what happened. And I remember crying. I remember I think you actually in the corner crying, just gasping for air. No, that's a good feeling. It's funny. That's a good memory.
We both came up with visual gags timed to pictures. Completely. Even then, we were completely docked. You did a video, memory, and I did a flip presentation. I did drawings. So
it's good on the last episode of the season to convince our audience that we're funny.
I'm
glad you waited this long to.
It only gets better, guys. I just remember we've been doing this forever.
It's kind of a bragging story, but you're right. It's
better than me bragging about sex, is it not?
According to Mike, if he's still listening. But no, you're right. It's that ability to have that timing and have the crowd. So you're there with your friends, it's the birthday, it's a roast, which is supposed to be good natured. And, so you're telling jokes that everyone in the room will get, that no one will be, it's a skill,
it's knowing your audience and knowing the timing. Timing is everything in that. And I think we have both of those. Then I don't think we have knowing our audience now. I think we're struggling with knowing our audience now. I think our audience is us and whoever is like-minded.
Well, I laugh my balls off. So.
I do too. There's sometimes I'm literally I will just re-listen to a show and laugh hard as fuck at something I just missed while editing or whatever, and I was just like, that's hilarious.
We'll see what the future brings for the Joe and Tim. So
it might be something completely different. We might bury this show, and you'll never hear.
You'll never even know that it happens.
And then it'll be true that we are the only people listening to this episode.
It's been a pleasure. I think this is 3 seasons in the book.
2 seasons
of The Inappropriate Guys.
Yes,
1
2 seasons
of Be Offended Radio.
Yes.
And over 40 hours of podcasting.
Over 1 week of one work week.
1 week of our lives podcasting. We appreciate the support out there. And we would love to know 2 things. If Debris on NBC is good and your porno habits. angryhatemail@gmail.com. Thank you.
Yes. And I guess I have to finish.
You're going to tell us about your knives?
Yes.
Yes. Finally. Are your knives sharp? Why have you been asking us that for 2 seasons?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you. It's and then we just cut to dead air. No. Oh, I really should. Should I just cut to dead air? Yeah. Just roll out music.
There's the daughter parallel parking at the diner. What's going to happen? Oh, the door opened and cut to black.
And there we go. Well, it's been a pleasure. It's been fun.
You're not going to tell me?
Okay, I'll tell you. I'll tell you guys. It's literally nothing funny at all. That's the whole joke, is that it wasn't a joke. I was at my brother's house one day, and I realized that none of his knives in his house were sharp. They were all dull. Like, I took out like what should be the sharpest knife, which would be a chef's knife, and picked it up. I could barely cut lettuce with it. And literally I was like, what kind of like pansy of a brother do I have that he doesn't have like a sharp knife in the house, and that he doesn't know how to sharpen his knives. And I equated that with not being manly. And for whatever reason, that just like notched my brother down on the manly scale a bit because he didn't have sharp knives. And so then when I came over,
me if my knives are sharp.
Yes. And so there was one time that I went over to your house. This was before new Tim. This was old Tim, single Tim.
Okay.
And you
my
also
knives
had
were hand-me-down knives.
Yeah. And you had dull fucking knives. And I was like,
we got them for free from somebody.
And so I always equate that with like, what are these fuckers with these dull knives? Like, if I look at my knives, funny, I'll bleed.
Joe, because I've thought of this. You know what we did with those knives? Those hand-me-down knives. When I got married, we registered for new knives,
burned them,
and we got new knives, and we threw out the old knives.
Oh, nice.
And I have not sharpened my new knives, and eventually I'll throw these knives out and buy new ones. So the answer is, are your knives sharp? The answer is yes, because when they become dull, I just buy new ones. Is that not what you're supposed to do?
No, you have a sharpener. You can sharpen your knives.
You never got time for that.
It takes literally like a minute, not even. Like, if you draw them,
you go like all back and forth in those things. Yeah.
If you just draw them every time you use them and clean them, they're always sharp. You don't have to do anything.
The thing is, like, you're only using your knives when you're cooking. So when you take it out to cut something, you're like, oh, it's dull. And then you like, fuck it. Well, I can't. I don't have time. So you cut. Then you clean it. And then
what kind of fucking murderer are you that you don't sharpen your knife? This is like your whole thing about the guy torturing. Yeah,
obviously I'm terrible. I couldn't murder anybody. It would just bounce off their skin.
This is the torturing guy with the clean cutlery. You have to have some sharp fucking knives. Anyway, that was the whole stupid story about all your knives.
It's a good question, and the answer obviously is when they become dull, you buy new ones.
All right, now we're actually done. I've nothing more of
that's it. The to-do list, the show topic list is bare.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bare. I have leather jackets, space lettuce. We grew lettuce in space, which we might do on another show. I like low thread count sheets, which automatically makes me a murderer.
Oh, really? Because
I mean, we can go on that. Oh, you like low thread count sheets?
Yeah, like when you go to those hotels and they're like
1,000 thread.
Yeah,
I don't like that.
And they're like, oh, like, yeah, like anytime I've ever slept at like a really high luxury hotel with like the really crazy sheets, I hate it. So we actually buy all our sheets at Walmart.
Oh my God, like, I'm literally the same.
Well, that's why we sleep together.
Some may say I make the bed.
I know, Joe, I know. You're right there next to me. I think I know what you're saying.
We're cuddling on the same pillow.
Joe, we're sharing a microphone right now.
Yeah. Some may say we're reclined in bed together.
No, that's funny. My wife's the same way. So like we literally...
Oh, you got lucky.
We literally order our sheets from Walmart.
Oh my God, it's hilarious.
Because the Target ones are actually like a little slightly better and we don't like them. So like we actually went to Target and we like, because like we had a queen size and then we went to a king size. So we went to Target and we're like, no, these are too good. And then we went to Walmart and we bought like the Walmart ones.
I literally went to Walmart not too long ago because I forgot that I don't like high thread count sheets, and I bought high thread count like pillow covers, and I was like, oh no, I can't sleep on these. I don't like them.
No, I 100% agree. I wish we could get like a psychologist, somebody on to like tell us like what's wrong with us. So, like we need to like, what is this like one step above like a burlap sack we're sleeping on? Like,
you know what would be great?
Like a bag of hay.
A third chair of our show needs to be some kind of psychologist. That would be brilliant.
Maybe we can be sponsored by like UCLA's like psych department or something, and they could like we could get like a
analyze
whole,
the fuck
they could, yeah, you know, like how they could do grants or whatever.
They could do an entire like we can find someone to do a thesis paper on us.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So like we can take the grant money and they can use in lieu of ads. They'll use the grant money. And then we'll have a psych student sitting in and they'll be like, okay, what's up with these people? Okay,
what is wrong with them?
They're selling empty jars. Yeah, they're talking about jokes that they told when they were 21 years old to make up for the fact that they're no longer funny 15 years later. And they apparently like to sleep in the barn on balls of hay.
Yeah. They like scratchy pillows. Yeah,
I would like to know actually, because now that you're in that boat, that's something I'm actually curious about. Is that what is
it's a very weird thing.
Yeah, as far as I know, we've never shared a bed together. So what is it about that like people's psyche that is like, no, that's just it's too soft.
No, it's too slippery. It's slippery. It's like people who like sleep with silk. No, thank you. Like I don't understand it. Yeah, I need coarseness. I think it's a sensitivity thing. I think we're too sensitive. I think we're too sensitive men. That's
actually what Be Offended Radio was about. It was my offended skin. It was my offended cheek on this 10,000 thread count sheet. Yeah. I'm offended. I'm too sensitive. Offended. We're actually two snowflakes, but not in the way you thought it was.
Yeah.
It's in our just thread count sheets.
I love that this is how we end the show.
Oh God, everything offensive and all about opinions. We negated an entire season of opinions by being pussy boys with our Walmart sheets.
I literally have the little bag that it comes in still.
Yeah, the Better Homes and Garden from Walmart. Yeah. Yeah, no, they're fantastic. They're like just perfect. Yeah,
they're the right amount of coarseness for the skin. No, that we have.
They soak up your sweat real nice.
Yeah. That's the other thing too. I feel like if you're having sex on like these high thread count,
your knees slip.
Yeah, you have no grip. There's no friction.
Correct. You're 100%. Yeah,
like you can just slide. It's like you're you're curling on the bed.
Now, when it comes to wet ass pussy, I don't want friction. But when it comes to my knees on a bed, but you're correct. Anytime I've ever been, again, those fancy hotels, that's the only time you have the highest thread count sheet. When you do have the hotel sex, I find it's very difficult to get any type of leverage because you're constantly just falling down the bed the whole time on this slip and slide of it. Yes, you're 100% correct. Yeah. Yes, you are. I can think of exactly those. I can think of the nice places now that like we do well in life, and like I travel better, and I'm staying in like not in hostels, and I'm picturing like the very fancy hotels where I've like fallen right off. Yeah.
Yeah, like there's been thread counts that have like caused me sleepless nights.
Oh,
like there's like I can't sleep.
Maybe our next podcast will be
we need a single topic podcast
into thread count sheets.
Thread count.
Yeah.
Thread count with Joe and Tim.
Yeah.
Oh, we could be sponsored by Purple Mattress.
Well, by Better Homes and Gardens at Walmart.
Or just Walmart in general.
Yeah.
Okay. Now we're
you don't know. It's basically just like the Walmart bag. They just like put it. It's just in sheet form.
It's just a canvas.
Yeah. You crinkle every time you roll over. Crinkles a little.
Yeah.
It's actually Joe's notepad from the John the Baby Maker roast.
Yeah. If I don't hear this when I'm rolling over in bed,
no way. No way. Yeah.
I have to hear me rolling.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah. So let's see. I think that it was everything. It was that the joys of being a germaphobe. I was a germaphobe before the COVID stuff.
No, you don't have to just go through it. No.
Huh?
No. It just stays. That's it.
Yeah,
that's it. Count. It's over.
Oh, all right. Damn.
You don't get to read any more lists.
Okay. No more lists. I mean, that was the last one anyway.
Okay. Oh, damn it.
I won.
I put my foot down too late. Foiled again.
Foiled. Alrighty, we're done. I don't know if we're coming back. I don't know what's happening. You could enjoy like many minutes of us talking, and
there's many hours of podcasting, but you can enjoy many minutes.
Yeah, many minutes. And if you're a trucker, honk and enjoy.
Thank you, everyone.